Okay, so since it's already 11:05 or 6:05 where you are in the Philippines, I will now start. Thanks again for joining this vocational course, private discussion or exclusive discussion on vocational courses. You've come at the important time because we are at the culmination of the admission period, and you will know a bit more as we go along. So as you might already know, I'm Lauren. I'm part of the team behind Filipinas Abroad. And if you have any questions or if you have any clarifications, feel free to just drop it in the chat, and our team will answer the questions, and whatever is not answered, we will also tackle it at the end of the discussion. So hope you stay informed, or you end this call being more informed, and we'll get started. So now I will present my screen. So vocational courses. So thanks again for joining. With regards to the agenda, so first off is 6 to 6:40 p.m. We will discuss everything about vocational courses. 6:40 to 6:50 is where we will introduce to you some of our clients or some of our students, one of which is Bianca, who is already here with us today, and I believe Aryan, who could join a little later, and then also some Q&A. So of course, with Filipinas Abroad, we also work with our own placement partners, and they are Zodiac Visa. And we work together to ensure that you get placed to the vocational course. So first off, what are vocational courses? Vocational courses are also known as Formación Profesional or Grado Superior, which translates to vocational education and training. These are similar courses or trainings that you may come across in different countries like Germany or Australia, but this is the version of a vocational course in Spain. The goals are to focus on more practical and technical skills. So preparing students to serve specific careers or specific industries such as healthcare, engineering, IT, hospitality, and more. The key features. So with regards to vocational courses and the institutions, there are two types of institutions. First would be public and second would be private. They have an emphasis as well on training, being able to combine theory and hands-on training for you to get the most knowledge and most training you can receive from the course. The next one would be internships. So many courses include internships as well, or practicas and empresas, helping you be more equipped with regards to your discipline. With regards to the practical approach, I would say these are the three main qualities of why it is a practical approach. So it prepares us for better job readiness. Graduates enter the workforce with real life experience, and Bianca and all the other clients or students that we have will be able to show how it can demonstrate a better real life experience or real work experience from the course. Next would be higher employability. So companies prefer skilled workers who have already trained in real settings. In Spain, in particular, there is a shortage of labor or skilled workers. Given that the 20% of the population of Spain are actually already reaching seniors, they are enticing younger people to take on skilled programs to help with the economy. Next would be stronger engagement. Students learn faster and more effectively through hands-on work. With anything that you learn more practically, it will enable you to get better engagement and get better understanding of the course. As I mentioned, the two types are public and private. So for public, they are fully or partially funded by the government, making them low cost or free. So normally, we would term it as free of tuition. So here at Filipinas Abroad, this is something that we serve you with to help get you placed to free of tuition public vocational courses. And upon such case that you have a preference for private, we can help you also with that. And with regards to the privately funded um, courses, and the range of the tuition fees would be from 1,500 euros to 6,000 euros per year, depending on the course. So that would be about 75,000 to 36,000. I would say it is still much lower compared to, let's say, taking masters, which is normally the minimum would be in Spain in particular, 7,000 euros to end up. So this is officially recognized as well by the Spanish Ministry of Education, and this is something that the government provides. The government will be the ones to fund the course. And with Filipinas Abroad, we just help place you. So public vocational course, funding and cost. So it is fully funded by the government, making them free. The element and the quality of education. So with regulated curriculums and monitored curriculums by the Spanish government. Next is academic qualification. So based on availability and educational equivalence. Part of the qualifications or requirements to get entry point to the vocational course is first is the availability of the course, which we also help vet for you. But the second one would be also with regards to homologation. So homologation is a process where we achieve the educational equivalence or academic equivalency for your course from the degrees that you took from the Philippines to Spain and achieve this equivalence. The next would be internships and job opportunities. So government mandated internships in local companies. These centers would normally have partnerships with internships or internship companies to provide this experience. The next one would be recognition and accreditation. So nationally recognized diplomas valid across the EU. So these are actually even Europeans, Spanish people consider to take up after their high school. So this is something that is really widely recognized and accredited. The mode is in-person classes as well. So these are the courses that you can potentially take. We normally would ask you to give us your first and second choice, similar to probably what you did in your bachelor's. And yeah, share with us your preferences. So first would be the likes of culinary arts and kitchen management, information technology and digital skills, tourism and hospitality. Third would be healthcare. Fourth would be business and administration. Fifth would be construction management. Next, graphic design and photography. Restaurant services management. Childcare and education. Nutrition and dietetics. Audiovisual production, and sports and physical activities. Take note that these are not limited to the slide, and the courses are not limited to this. There could be more vocational courses, and you can let us know if there are anything in particular that you are looking for, and we will help check. So for business administration, these are the types of modules or trainings that you will be able to learn. First would be human resources management, financial management, office automation and information processing, communication and customer service, management of legal and business documentation, accounting and taxation, and logistics and commercial management. So one of the things as well is that the vocational course is taught in Spanish. There is a possibility that there are teachers that could teach in English, specifically if they recognize or see that they also have international students. But from the experience of our current clients and students, they have taken up Spanish classes prior to entering and prior to moving to Spain. So this is something that they took up as a challenge, and they took up as a good activity, something to improve so that they can really enable themselves to take up the vocational course. So the admissions process is we would apply to a public vocational center. Formación Profesional or FP. We submit the necessary documents alongside us. We will work with you to ensure you have all these documents, and then we await for admission. This is in a nutshell. The visa, you could apply for a student visa or type D at the Spanish consulate, and then provide proof of admission, financial means, and health insurance. These are only sample requirements, but there are more as we go along and once you work with us. Once in Spain, you apply for a residence permit or tarjeta identidad extranjero, or what we call TIE. So with regards to the job opportunities or job portals, so there are resources and there are portals for us to check what type of jobs we can find and what type of part-time jobs we can leverage. So first up would be European Employment Services. This is a European Commission network that lists jobs opportunities across Europe, including part-time roles in Spain. The next one is quite well known, would be Indeed. So this is one of the world's largest job search platforms. Whether it's part-time, freelance, and remote job opportunities, we can find this. If you would need help to, let's say, come up with a right CV, we can help craft this for you. There is a thing called Europass CV that is primed for the European requirements. So this is something that we can help furnish and help you with. The next one would be student jobs. So it's mainly catered to students. So dedicated to student employment, offering part-time and internship opportunities tailored for students. It will really depend on what city as well you would be based and see which jobs would be available in your area. The next one would be InfoJobs, so one of Spain's leading job platforms, offering a vast array of part-time positions across various sectors. So this is also the portal. And then Expatica, one of Spain's leading job platforms, also offering part-time positions across various sectors. So as you can see, Expatica for internationals, in particular in Spain, these are meant for people like us that are expats in Spain. So with regards to accommodation, so right now, these are the available platforms that we can use or even see from even from the Philippines, what type of rooms or accommodations we can find. But of course, we will be there to guide you on, especially upon receiving which city you will be assigned, to find what is the right location, what is a good neighborhood, what is a good city. Then we can help you more with that, to give you further insight. So these are Idealista, Fotocasa, Habitaclia, Badi, Pisos.com, and Spot a Home. I specifically used Idealista um, upon my arrival here in Spain, and it was good. It was rather trustworthy, and all the providers there were more credible. And I ended up going to one of the rooms and living there for, I believe, 3 months. But there is also a well-regarded platform called Badi, and I have heard a lot of people have good reviews about Badi.com. So this is how to get started, and these are comprised of 3 steps. So step one would be availability and admission. So this is already the time that we are in right now, February to March, and that's why we're holding this call. Because from our experience as well, gathering your requirements takes time, especially depending on your school, how long your school will take um, to give you back the required documents. But essentially, we undergo process of Philippine homologation where we request these official academic transcripts from your previous school. So we advise high school and college to at least you could get. But the minimum requirement is to get your high school diploma. The next one would be identify requirements per course. So, of course, these courses might have specific requirements, and this will give us more time to understand how to meet these requirements and how you can and how we can help you meet these requirements upon this time frame. The next one was reserving the slot. So now we reserve the slot, submit the application form along with your required documents or submitted documents, passport, transcripts, ID, photos, and TASA that we pay. So this is February to March, and as you already know, this is already March 29. So we can extend a little bit towards the people that have already made up their minds, and are looking to do this course this year. The intake is ultimately October, so this is the frame that we really gather these admissions. The next one would be step 2, or placement. So we validate the available cities. So we see what cities can offer the vocational course, and understand, as I mentioned, cost of living and accommodation. We can help pick your brain or help you make sense of the typical cities here, and kind of help you visualize the life you would be undertaking for the next year. And then receive letter of acceptance. So of course we will obtain an official acceptance letter from the school, and essentially we should be able to receive this and last week of June. And of course, knowing all these things about what we already gathered, the transcript of records, if it's already March, then hopefully by April we get these the transcript of records and process these next steps. The next one would be visa gathering. So now we secure your proof of financial means. We show the bank statements, of course, because the vocational course is free of tuition. We would still need to provide our means of staying here. We've already gotten over the hurdle of getting free tuition type of courses, but the other part of living and staying here, this is something we would need to provide. So the next one is also submit visa application. So now we've submitted. Do take note that Spain has summer. So they also undergo summer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, July to August. So the early we could apply for and so lodge our student visa, the earlier we will receive our result or approval, which can also be a little I would not to disheart but stressful process a little bit, or a little more challenging, because we are waiting for the feedback from the Spanish embassy. So we really advise doing it as early as we can so that we can figure out other results and the next steps from that. And then upon landing, of course, we now apply for the TIA, as I mentioned, or for an identity card, and staying for more than 6 months. Within 90 days of arrival. So this is how Spain looks like. As you can see, very beautiful architecture, very pristine spaces, and different types of buildings that you can come across in different cities. They have also different personalities, I would say. They are different people. Could be they could have a representation of different people or with different personalities, but that's all the more what's enjoyable in Spain. So something about the quality of life and culture. So in Spain, there is a relaxed lifestyle. So Spain is famous for its siesta culture, long meal times, and a strong emphasis on work-life balance, which I, upon arriving, have really appreciated upon getting here. So people really value their time, really value the balance, and really value being able to relax in batches. So even the buildings or the stores here, they close in the middle of the day, which some people, especially international people, don't understand, but because that is when they take their break. So we need to make sure that whatever we need to buy, not all stores close, but there are some that you will come across that they really close. The next one would be warm people. So Spaniards are social and welcoming, making it easy for us to feel at home. So especially in the Southern European countries, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, the likes of Croatia, the likes of these, they really have this social and accommodating culture. Of course, also Spain's national GDP, 20% of that accounts for tourism and hospitality services. So these are really very strong industries. And then cultural richness as well, home to flamenco music, vibrant festivals, and historic cities like Madrid, Barcelona, and Seville. Cost of living. So it's really relatively affordable. For a single person, of course, me living, let's say, in Barcelona, my groceries are about 100 euros per month or 6,000 pesos per month. Of course, this is already in Barcelona, but it can be lower, much lower, especially if you live in the non-populated, what do you call this? More less populated cities like Barcelona. So yeah, cities like Madrid and Barcelona are slightly expensive, but places like Valencia, Malaga, and Toledo can offer great quality of life at lower costs. Transport, there are metros, buses, and regional trains that can help you get around. And then food, local markets, and tapas culture will really help you to enjoy or allow you to enjoy without spending much. And I think there's a bit of note here on the type of apartments that you can come across. So let's say Madrid, 500 to 600 euros per month, or 30 to 36,000 pesos per month. But in cities like Valencia, Seville, or even more than 350 euros to 500 euros per month. So that would be, I believe, 20,000 to 30,000. But this can be lower, even much lower, depending on these things. Healthcare. Healthcare also has one of the best public healthcare systems in Europe. As you will come to find that when you are actually already call for emergency, they will call right away. Um, and as long as you have the health card, which are even available as a student, you can go to any hospital and they will accept you as long as you have this Cat Salute health card. So, plus affordable private healthcare options, because even for you to get a private insurance, it's 2,000 pesos to 3,000 pesos per month. And what it normally does is you go to the hospital, you get your treatment, you pay first, but then they will reimburse you. And normally they really reimburse within the given time frame of 30 days. So it's relatively efficient. So, as you know, of course, the Philippines and Spain connection. So, Philippines became one of Spanish colonies back in the day. So now this is a way of Spain to kind of make up for their colonization. So anyone coming from the Iberico-American countries, Andorra, Philippines, Portugal, Latin American countries, they can be eligible for citizenship after 2 years of living here. So this is something not afforded to a lot to all. I have American friends, British friends, etc., that they really have to go through the normal process of gaining 5 years residence, 10 years residence, etc. But for us Filipinos, we have a very exclusive opportunity, which is only 2 years. And as you might have seen from the pandemic, how quick it flew by, or how quick it passed. We didn't realize it was already 5 years until, I mean, since the pandemic, right, 2020. But yeah, that just goes to show fast or how fast time flies. So 2 years would be relatively fast as long as you stay the course and stay with your goals. This is possible. So now I'm actually very fortunate to have our current students, and I'm very thankful for them because we're really, in good ties with each other, and I really see their updates, and they really see the school experiences that they have, and it looks really fun. So first off, we have Bianca, Rafanan, and of course Aryan. So as you might see, yeah, these are the types of photos, etc. So I will now let Bianca Arian share their experiences while I'm presenting these photos. So over to you guys. Probably your experience landing and settling in Spain, as the slide suggests for now. Over to you guys.
Thank you, Lauren. Hi, everyone. I'm Marian. We're currently, Bianca and I are actually flatmates right now. We're actually living in Extremadura here in Spain, and we have uh, uh, the course that we're taking right now is a government funded type of course that we're having. It's ciclo formativo for restaurant. Yeah, we're having it's so nice. We're having fun actually, and I could say for the cost of living, since like Lauren said earlier, here it's like they call it pueblo. It's not overpopulated, so for that, the cost of living is good. The rent is good, like groceries, it's good also. And I I have here yeah. Okay, so the first one is before coming to Spain, actually we took basic online Spanish class, and I use Duolingo for practice. And while our classes are in Spanish, our teachers are considerate and sometimes explain it in English. But I highly recommend learning Spanish before coming, because our exams and our class are all Spanish. And right now we're still learning through daily interactions with teachers and the locals. So for our accommodation, Lauren and her partnered agency helped us before with finding accommodation. Our landlord provided a signed rental contract, which was necessary also for visa requirements. And for my proof of financial means, what I did was I provided a proof of financial sponsorship. This included my mom's bank certificate, bank statements, and notarized letter stating that she would cover all my expenses during my stay here in Spain. The total amount was more than like 1 million Philippine pesos. Thank you.
Thank you, Arian.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. Bianca.
Over to you, Bianca.
Hello, Ariane. Hi, everyone. I'm Bianca. I'm one of the vocational course students here in Spain. And I really started from Filipinas abroad. She was the one who I first talked with and helped me through this. So, why did I come up with the decision to take the vocational course and not the language course or not masters? Because I wanted to learn a new skill and experience a change in career, lifestyle, and environment. For long term plans, let's be real. I am aiming to work here in Europe. So they have a more laid back approach, as Lauren mentioned earlier, which I think would resonate more for the life that I want. And my moving abroad journey, processing the paperwork came with many questions, but we had guidance. So don't worry. For you guys, I'm sure Filipinas abroad would guide you. And knowing Lauren, she's very organized in what she does. She's very organized and articulate. So you will be guided. And any questions that you have, yeah, Filipinos abroad is experience in processing the papers because we all did it ourselves. So you don't have to worry about it kasi mag-guide naman kayo ng maayos. Suggestion lang is yeah, of course, to stay organized, make a to-do list and um, the corresponding deadlines, make a list for that. And Spain is very lenient and accommodating. So, hindi naman sila sobrang strict and they're very considerate. As for my student experience here in Spain, currently the biggest challenge is the language barrier, the communication barrier, of course. Everything else was manageable because as Filipinos, we're somewhat familiar with the culture. It is just in a European first world setting. The school environment is warm and welcoming with people always willing to help. And for our class schedules, it's from okay for the vocational course, ciclo formativo, it's from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. So that's 6 hours per day, 5 days in a week. So you definitely have time to do something else, to have part-time jobs. As for me and Aryan, we teach English to Spanish kids, and we just do it online, so it's very convenient. We earn a few euros for that, which really helps us in for our daily for our living here in Spain. Cultural adjustments. If you're really motivated, or if you already know basic Spanish, this course accelerates learning. So um, I suggest you get a course that you are already familiar. You get a course that you find easy, or seems unnatural for you, because you're going to be studying it in Spanish. So the learning curve here is just more of practicing the skill or the niche that you already have, then practicing it in Spanish. So you're really gonna practice your speaking, your speaking and communicating here. Yeah, weather wise, it's colder. It's definitely colder, but manageable with proper clothing. I prefer it over the Philippines humidity. So in here, personally, I'm more comfortable with the weather. It's sunny, it has sunshine, but at the same time you won't get too haggard sa weather because of the humidity. So yeah, that's it for me. And we can
Thanks.
go on with the questions, with the common questions.
Thanks, Bianca. So, well, this is probably just what I'm flashing, school and school activities. So this looks very interesting. What you took up, I think this is mm, what do you call this? Learning how to make drinks, or learning how to make
Mhm.
can you walk us through this workshop and what
Yes,
you did?
so that's the formación.
Mm.
Um, our school organized that one. They invited professionals, for example, um, they invited professionals in their own field. For example, an instructor who makes cheese, uh, an instructor who's a bartender, or someone who's making cerveza or beer. So it's a 1 day workshop per topic. We had cheese, wine, beer, and cocktails.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's 1 day per topic, and they're really expert about it. It was fun, and the experience was immersive.
Mm-mm. What
Mhm.
was your favorite, Bianca? Was it the cheese, the wine,
For
bartender?
me, the cocktails, because there's a bartender who's showing us how to make different cocktails, and the
Oh, that's
famous
awesome.
famous international cocktails, not just here in Spain but also international.
Oh, okay. What was your favorite cocktail to make?
For me, it was mojito. Very
Ah,
basic.
mojito, yes.
It was mojito. I like that one.
No, but it's good because that's already like a lot of bars or a lot of restaurants really offer mojito, and now you could make it your own.
Yes.
There's also this picture of honey. I don't know if
Yes,
as
the wine and honey. It
oh,
came
okay.
with the wine and honey. It came with the wine. So it's wine and honey formación.
Mm,
Yeah, he was a professor also, studying about wine and the history of honey. So that's what's interesting about what we're doing here in this course. We learn about the history, and
mm.
lots of information about the European, the European way. So we just
Awesome.
learning here, really.
Okay, and this is your neighborhood. I could see you also bought groceries or fruits. Um, and I guess going about your day walking, or you also have good basketball courts, which I also really have come to appreciate in Spain. There's so many courts that's free, that's public, that you can just play. anytime, I would say.
That's true. That's true. In here they really value the the
Work
what do you
life.
call this? Yes, outdoor activities. It's well maintained by the government. Like in the Philippines, the barangay, the because we live in a pueblo, right? So the barangay is really active and they really maintain the public spaces here in our pueblo. It's just a small
Mhm.
pueblo, but look what we have: the auditorium, the football court, the football court, the football
Oh,
field, the tennis court, and everything. It's really nice, and you're free to use it anytime. The gym is also free.
oh wow. Okay, so you could go to the
Mm.
gym. And you've made friends as well, it seems like. Friends in the neighborhood.
Yes, they're all very friendly. They,
Okay.
they, they will really approach you. I'm sure you experienced the same thing, Lauren.
Yeah, they will really say hola. They will really greet you and
Mm. They're
acknowledge
very
you.
welcoming here. Mm.
So very respectful as well. And you also traveled, I would say. I'm not sure where this is, but this is also pretty nice.
Yes, Arian can share something about that. It's one of our field trips or
Okay.
excursions.
Where was this, Maria, Aryan? This particular
Oh, sorry,
place.
I was typing for the answer there in the chat box. Sorry.
Okay.
This was in Almendralejo, Lauren. We had
Oh,
excursion and yeah, with the school. So yeah, we visited a lot of tourist spots in Almendralejo with the
mm,
teachers and students.
awesome. And then I guess you also spent New Year's
Oh yeah,
in
we did.
Madrid.
Together with the other Filipinos. Yeah.
Okay.
And also Daryl also had like discovery call with you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Daryl. We're with Daryl and other Filipinos. So we spent Christmas there. I mean New Year, sorry. We spent New Year in Madrid.
Yes. So I think it's also quite nice how people celebrate Christmas and New Year here in Barcelona. They really are very festive, and I think that's also where we got our fiestas from talaga. Kasi
Yes.
mahilig din tayo mag-fiesta sa Philippines, but in Barcelona I would say, if not every month, every other month, there's something to celebrate. Plaza San Jordi, different types of festivals that I can't name because there are too many, but it goes to show their culture of celebrating, um, yeah, enjoying life and having these things. So,
Yes.
um, with regards to the potential questions, so we can go get straight to it. So first off is, um, hold on. Okay, thanks for maybe answering this. How many months, if they can ask Bianca and Arian, did you study Spanish before applying for the vocational course? Um, and if you took up language schools or classes while in the Philippines, which I remember you took online. If is that right?
I'm sorry, I'm already answering it in the chat box, Lauren. So we
Okay.
had basic online Spanish class before. It was like for 2 months only, but it was just the basic. So I could say the level of our Spanish is just conversational. Because
Okay.
prior to coming here, we had the 2 months online class, right, Bianca? And then after that, once we're here, we were still continuing our Spanish class. Yeah,
Right.
we have it. We sometimes like see Facebook online classes.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, we attend some of those classes. And also
Yeah,
I
which
still we still have Duolingo.
yes, just to help you get prepped to the course.
Yep. Yep.
And then what is the age limit? So I'll answer that. So with regards to the age limit, there is some understanding for the Spanish government for people to take up vocational course in their 20s or in their 30s. If we really want to take up this course, then as long as we are able to provide the financial means, then this is possible. So the financial means, I think Aryan has also been able to mention the show money. So of course, with anything, the higher the better. So if you were applying for this type of thing within Spain, actually the basis for the show money is only 10,000 euros. But to ensure our student visa approval, then we would advise what Arya Aryan mentioned. This is something that you can do with regards to it. So you could request for letter of sponsorship or letter of support. And if you need further details, we will help you craft this letter of support from your parents or from others to ensure that you really, gain that approval. Is it true? Yes. Counted to it. The one that is important is if you're able to convert your student visa to a working permit. Um, the student visa is counted as half. Um, and the concept is that you would need to transition from your student visa to a working visa after, so that you can already continue. If you only went to Spain on a student visa and then came back, then that is not counted, because you only came here to study and you didn't transition to residing here. So part of it is really showing you've been able to uh, reside here, which also goes to the connection of um the question with regards to vocational courses for 2 years eligible for Spanish citizenship. Yes. So it is eligible for a Spanish citizenship. So if the course for the vocational course is 2 years, then it's counted as half, like 1 year. But as I mentioned, you would need to convert it to a working permit or a working visa. How long does the homologation process take? Maybe I can ask uh, Aryan or Bianca on their homologation process. I remember discussing this with Bianca, um, and it was a little tedious. But how was the process for you to get your transcript of records, your diploma, and getting it apostille or etc. So how was it like before?
Yes, of course, as a first timer, and I had a lot of questions, but I was guided, so it's pretty manageable as long as okay, you have to do the apostille, and by doing that, you have to go to DFA, so Department of the nearest DFA in your area, and how long it took me. Actually, as a whole, ano lang, 2 months. The whole process was just 2 to 3 months for me. Yung
Mm-mm,
pinaka maraming ginagawa or super busy na was just 1 month. Then that's it.
mm-hmm.
I flew to Spain na.
How about maybe Arian on the homologation process for her? Did the school take you long? Did the school take a longer time to provide you your transcript or your diploma, etc.?
Yeah, for in my school, no, actually, but it was like the process for the in the bed. That was the one that's longer for the official like certification for the bed. Yes, did. So I really recommend you guys to like process it now. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
better to like start processing all of those requirements now, because
Mhm.
Philippines they take time like that. And also it was hard for me because I have to get it also in La Union. So yeah, official like that for our region before. So
Okay.
As
Okay.
for the homologation, I remember, if I remember it correctly, it was just 1 month, more or less 1 month. Then we got our homologation na
Mm-hmm.
in Spain.
That's right.
Yeah, not bad.
And then I guess this one we had basic. Okay, thank you, Arian, already for answering. Wow, this is so good. If you have this type of accommodation price, I would really be okay with it because it really helps with the
the
expenses.
entire flat we have like 3 rooms, Lauren, but it's just by Bianca and me. So that's
Ah,
300.
really?
Yeah, we have actually 3 rooms. So we have a spare room that we're just using it for to like here to study and stuff. But yeah, we
Wow.
have 3 rooms for 300 euro. So that's 150 each euro. And but excluding the electric bill, which is just around 20, the trash like bills for the water and just around 50, and then we have that just 25, 25. So it's really good.
Wow. No, this is great. I mean, of course, we are like realistic, and we really wanna ensure, there's like a systematic way of doing things. So any way of like curbing expenses, this is really good, and finding a way to get that balance. That's great. So there was a question. So um the vocational course, or is it eligible for job seeker? So because the vocational course is meant for taking up a practical program or a practical job, then this would not be applicable to a job seeker visa. The one that you have options with would be, first, you modify to a working permit, a working visa, in any case, because you have a more practical specialization, you would be more eligible to get working permit. And because you already have that experience of learning in Spanish and conversing in Spanish, that is an ace, that is a skill that you can say that you are more fluent in Spanish compared to the other types of programs. The second one would be an internship visa, because, as you know, you would take an internship afterwards. And some of our experiences is you could extend for your student visa to an internship visa and request the company to provide you this internship visa, so that you can gain further extension. The other one would be autonomo. So a lot of people go for this, and anyone who provides any type of service can apply for autonomo. So it's a freelance or self-employed visa that you can take, whether you're providing services in marketing, services in restaurant services or hospitality. You are your own provider of these services, then you can already go for autonomo. So any type of service that is possible. But yeah, working permit is the primary goal, and then these other visas can also take suit or follow suit. The next one would be guessing languages. Okay, thanks for answering this. This should just prove that you said. Is there a challenge on finding part-time jobs? So there is a 50-50 challenge of finding part-time jobs if you don't know where to look. But if you are somebody that, really takes the time to understand the lay of the land, what you would need to make sure that you can find part-time jobs. As I mentioned, I show different platforms. Um, it can be hard or easy for you. Hard if we really didn't do the work. But normally I would provide or give you 3 to 4 months, and this is all what I say to my clients: average of 3 to 4 months to find part-time jobs. This gives you the time that you need to get back, apply to your for your CV, apply to these companies, prep your CV, wait for them to get back to you, do the round again and again until you get this feedback. How was your study experience po so far? If you can rate po the difficulty, marami bang homework or exam?
I was trying to answer that too, but for the if you can rate what the difficulty. For me, our course is not that difficult. It's just the language, the idioma. That's
Hmm.
the hard part. But in terms of homeworks, not really. But our school uses Google Classroom for as a platform for our homework. So we could use like traductor translations for it. So it's really not that hard for homeworks na mag-submit ng homeworks because we can use Google Translate for that. And anyway, for exams, and hindi din siya masyadong mahirap for me if you review kasi you can memorize it naman kasi since Spanish and to like if Bianca and I, if we review for exams, we like translate it to English first and then memorize it in Spanish. So yeah, okay lang. Exams are okay then. And then teachers are also helpful. So sometimes when we really don't understand the questions in Spanish, they will translate it to for us. So yeah. Okay. For
Thanks so much.
homeworks, not really. Hindi masyado maraming homework. So we really have a lot of time. sa bahay with Bianca, so we could really do like yung work namin ni Bianca na online with the Spanish students. So yeah.
Mm-mm. What I would say also is like I think it really helped that you were two people, you came in pairs, because that really helps, like share what you're going through, share your experience with somebody else, and that you have somebody like that you can in a way like lean on, or make sense of the experience as well, so that you don't feel so alone. I believe C Jewel and C Daryl are also like that. Is that right? So if you have any friends that are also interested, yeah, it would be very good. So you could experience it together and yeah, have that experience. So how many were you in class now? Sorry. How many
Currently,
students?
right now, there are 5 of us, right, Bianca? And all are Filipino, Lauren.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And you formed the group, you formed the crew, which is really nice.
Mm.
Um, that's also really something about Filipinos. They stick together and they really help out. And I don't know, I think I've seen you guys like cook together or prepare meals together. So,
I highly suggest for you guys, if you're on the verge of choosing your vocational course at the moment, your FP course, choose something that really interests you. Kasi
I enjoy mo. Yeah. You
you're
will
gonna learn
enjoy
that
it.
in Spanish. So you have to be familiar with it. Like for example, for us, we already know yung mga kitchen terms or cooking terms. And then itra-translate na lang yan into Spanish. So once nalaman mo na, ito pala yung meaning ng ganyan. Kasi you know that in Spanish na eh. So choose a course talaga that really interests you. Or
mm-mm.
may ano ka na, may knowledge ka na about it.
And you enjoyed and no, like it helps if you enjoy it. Um,
Yes.
Yes.
mm-mm. Yeah. I guess that's all. I think we covered everything. So I'd like to thank again our guests also taking the time to answer even the questions in our chat, to really help our the others that are interested. So if you have any questions or you want to take the next step and find out who should you reach out to, so these are the contact details. Keep in mind the if you are looking to do this year, then I have already showed you the step 1, step 2, step 3: admissions, placement, and then school admission. And this takes months, as you have heard from our clients or our students. So we really suggest to do this as early as possible, or come up to the decision, especially if you're really wanting to do this year. um and yeah, because the next intake would be next October, um October 2026, and the admission period is again January to March. So please take the time to really assess. But if you're really already decided, you made up your mind, then please reach out to us the soonest possible time. These are uh, our details. These are our WhatsApp and our emails, and I think Isa also shared our individual emails. So that's something you can do. There's the last question: what are needed to take? Um, that was already discussed earlier. So you would need to get your transcript of records. You would need to get your diploma and reach out to us to get onboarded upon submitting. And we will guide you on what type of documents you need for these things. Yes, you would need to CAVIT, achieve homologation, and this is the step-by-step process that we will help. Um, so yeah, any courses for teaching, it's early childhood education, yes. That is the one that has for teaching, if you would like that degree. So that's it. Thanks again for the time. I know it's a Saturday, but hopefully this was a productive and informative Saturday, primed to help you get to the next step of your goals and your life, essentially. So over and out. Thanks everyone for joining.
Lauren, there's a last question.
Ay, yes. We do have a physical office in Manila. It is in Parañaque. So you could visit us. Just let us know, and we will set the appointment because we have other appointments as well. So please reach out to us. We don't have in Cebu for now, uh, but hopefully in the near future. Um, Thank you so much and have a great Saturday to everyone. We hope to and we look forward to hearing from you guys. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
po. Thank you po.